بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. To begin, all praise and glory be to Allah alone. We thank Him and seek His help, His guidance, His pleasure, and His forgiveness. And we seek protection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil ideas, thoughts, and whisper within ourselves, and from the consequences of our evil actions and evil deeds. For whomever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, indeed this is a great gift that no one can ever take away. And whomever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is perfect justice and perfect wisdom, leave that guidance, none can ever offer that guidance. We testify no one is worthy of our worship, our devotion, our love and obedience in an absolute sense but Allah alone, without any partner. The creator, the planner, the maintainer, the provider, the sustainer, the guardian, and the supreme king of heavens and earth, and everything in them, and everything between them, everything we know, and everything we do not know. We bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is indeed, in truth, without any doubt, His servant, His prophet, and His messenger, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent mercy to the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed to mankind, believers, in the Quran. He said, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu ittaqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "O you have believed, fear Allah as He should be feared, and do not die except Muslim in submission to Him." Since our Khatib did not show up today, because of some urgent reason for school, today I decided to give the khutbah to you from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because why? The reason is this is the sacred month, which is the Dhul Hijjah. And on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam delivered this khutbah at the Mount of Arafah. And that's very important what he said, his last khutbah, the last word. And everybody is supposed to know what he delivered. And this should be the most important khutbah for understanding for all the Muslims, what he left, his legacy in this khutbah. So this is very important. Like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before he started, he praised Allah and then asked everybody, pay attention to that. So I'm just giving his word for word translation. And we'll reflect on that and then we'll understand inshallah. This sermon was delivered on the 9th day of Islamic month of Dhul Hijjah, year 632. So 630, 10th Hijri, and in the valley of Mount Arafah in Makkah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "O people, lend me attentive ear, for I know not whether after this year I shall ever be among you again." So he's asking everybody to pay attention, give me your ear in this way that you can learn. And he also indicated that maybe I'm not going to be here next year because I might not be alive. And the Sahaba, the companion, understood that because the Surah Al-Nasr was revealed before actually, and the people understood that there might be Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam after that, he will not be among us. So he says, pay attention to that. Therefore, listen to what I am saying very carefully. He says, take these words to those who could not present here today. And also, he gave us a responsibility. He said, first of all, you pay attention what I am going to say. And the second thing is, once you know this, then it's your responsibility to tell other people, convey those who do not know about that. So that's two things we have to learn from this khutbah. First, we have to pay attention what he's going to tell us. And second thing is, once we learn it, we need to convey to other people. He said, "O people, just as you regard this month, this day, this city as sacred, so the regard the life and property of every Muslim as sacred trust. That's so beautiful. He mentioned that because the month of Dhul Hijjah is sacred, the day of Arafah is sacred, and then the city of Makkah is sacred. He added three sacred entities, and he says exactly this is, if all these things are sacred, then the life of every Muslim is sacred. It's a very important, very profound understanding of Muslim Ummah and Muslim understanding. Today we see the life in Palestine, the life in Kashmir, life in Burma, life all over the places the Muslims are suffering. Now we have to understand that how Prophet ﷺ's last word, he said these lives are, Muslim lives are sacred lives. Just like Makkah is sacred, just like Dhul Hijjah is sacred, just like the day of Arafah is sacred. So that's very important, very profound for us to reflect on it as a Ummah. And then he also said that return the goods entrusted to you to their rightful owners. In those days of Mecca, the people will give their belongings to the person who they can trust. You know, the people will always borrow or give and take things. So he said, when you borrow something, does not mean that's yours. You have to return it. Sometimes people forget about it. It happens sometime in our time too. A brother will come, I need the money, you know, or give me $500, I'll return to you next month. And the person forgets about that. Rasulullah said, listen, you have to return everything. So everybody has to be careful about that, because this is how we build the bond of humanity and the Muslim community also. We start trusting each other. If there is a rightful honor for something, we have to return it. So these, and then again he says, hurt no one so that no one may hurt you. It's beautiful, it's very universal. You don't hurt people, people should not be hurting you. So exactly the whole idea, hurt no one may hurt you. So these are remember that you will indeed meet your Lord, and that He will indeed reckon your deeds. Now He reminds us about the Day of Judgment. So the people, when they do all those mistakes here, or all those grave sins here, then He says, make sure that one day we'll be resurrected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us. So that's why He reminds us also about the Day of Judgment also with that. He said, Allah has forbidden you to take a usury, which is interest. Therefore, all interest obligations shall henceforth be waived. So one of the most important things He mentioned about the interest. Because today, entire society runs on interest economy. And some of those, but there is some scholar have a difference with the usury and interest. There are big difference. So we're not going to go into detail, but you can talk about the scholar. There's a lot of halal financing, halal banks, halal things. Well, make sure when you purchase anything on a credit card, make sure you pay before time. That's the one thing I would suggest to people, that avoid all kind of interest or something. Be careful on that, because what happens, all those societies nowadays, like if you look at the history of mankind, people are giving a loan to the Africa or other part of the world, and then they cannot pay the loan back, and then they take their resources. They take their oil, they take their things, and that's where the whole nation becomes slave. So interest has the biggest consequences. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made its prohibition on Muslims. So we have to understand why it's so important for us to practice this commands of Allah, that stay away from this interest. If every Muslim will stay away from interest, pay cash, pay on time. You use your credit card, but pay on time. You know, debit cards are great actually in a way that you don't need to deal with interest a lot. And then he says also, your capital, then obligate, and your capital is yours to keep. So that means you can't charge any interest. You will neither inflict nor suffer any iniquity. Allah has judged that there shall be no interest, and that all the interest due to Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib and the Prophet's uncle be waived. So first of all, he started from his house. See, whatever the interest my uncle has upon other people, so it's all waived, you know. So we're not going to charge, my uncle will not going to charge any interest if he gave them any money to something. So this is all waived. So he started the practice from his own house. Every right arising out of homicide in pre-Islamic day is henceforth waived. And first such a right that I waived is that arising from the murder of the Rabia ibn Harib. Now, one of the practices in Arabia, if somebody kills somebody, they start the chain reaction of revenge. He killed mine, I will kill you, or you kill mine, it just goes on. He says everything is prohibited. From now on, no more killing. Whatever happened in the past. So he started from his own house. One of those activity was due to somebody killed a murder in his own family. Then we said we're not going to take any revenge on that. So all the revenge and those murders and all things are gone actually. So this is exactly the how he started the practice, telling people from now on you should follow accordingly. All you have believed, all people, unbelievers, indulge in tampering with the calendar in order to make permissible that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade. And He forbid that which Allah has made permissible. With Allah, the months are 12 in numbers. 4 of them are holy and 3 of these are successive. One occurs singly between the month of Jamada and Shaban. Now, in the Arabian practice, there are 4 months are always holy because they abide by some guideline that we're not going to make a war, we're not going to do something. When those are the 4 months work. The non-believers, the unbelievers, they're always trying to make something changing. No, this is going to start from here. No, they will start from here. Now we're going to move this holy month to the other month. So they were playing with the calendar. So the holy months are, if you look at it today, one is called the Rajab, which is in the that's the holy month, and 3 automatically Dhul Hijjah, Dhul Qada, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharram. These 3 months are sacred, and Rajab is sacred. These are the sacred month mentioned in the Islamic understanding and the way the Prophet ﷺ explained. But what about the Ramadan and the other months? Yeah, those are sacred, they have a special category. But these months were coming from the tradition, the people were abide by the rules and regulation in these 4 months. So we're not going to fight, we're not going to do this, they have some guideline for that. And those months are still kept sacred. So it's still there. Like today we are in a Zulhijjah. This is a sacred month actually. And the Muharram will be also sacred. The previous month was also sacred. So these 3 months altogether are sacred, and the one is a Rajab, which is before Rajab, Shaban, Ramadan. So Rajab is also sacred month. So these 4 months you have to remember these are sacred months. And there are going to be definitely a lot of benefits if you do good deeds on those months. Then he also mentioned that beware of Satan for the safety of your religion. He has lost all hope of that he will be able to lead you astray in big things. But be aware of the following small thing. He says, when you believe there is only one God, Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of God, and you believe the book of Allah, the big thing, which is our 6th article of faith and 5 pillars of Islam, you have understood that our deen is. We say we believe in Allah. Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rasulihi wal yawmil akhir wa qadrihi. With the 6th article of faith, always all the Muslim believes, and the 5 pillars of Islam were taught people to how to perform those. If you understand this, he said the Satan will not gonna hurt you in this way, but he will still try to hurt you in the small things and try to create fitna for those. So your major religion has been taught to everybody. Everybody understand that. Then he also mentioned about that. He says your wife and he talks about some women things. He said, "Oh people, it is true that you have a certain right with regards to your women, but also they also have a right over you. Remember that you have taken them as your wife only under Allah's trust and with His permission. If you abide by your rights, then to them belongs to the right to be fed, clothed, and kindness." And that's what he mentioned, that the men and women should live in such a way they trust each other. They should be a committed partner to each other. They support each other. And he said, do treat your women well and be kind to them if they are your partner and committed helper. And it is your right that they do not make friends with anyone of whom you do not approve, as well as over to be and never to be unchaste. Now for women, always the man and women's relations are very important. Sometimes the man doesn't want her wife supposed to indulge with community in a way without his approval. Talking to other men or talking to other women, the man wants to know what's going on. He wants to protect his family, his children, his good decent family life. So he has a responsibility to advise her who should be your friend and where should you go. So this is basically the for men. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this responsibility to advise his wife in this way. Same thing, the woman was told that you have to be obedience to the husband and should never go out in a way to become unchaste, And that's basically the basic ethics and moral that Islam teaches about men and women. O people, listen to me in earnest. Worship Allah. Say your 5 daily prayer. Fast during the month of Ramadan and give your wealth in zakah and perform Hajj if you can afford to so. So this is again the 5 pillars of Islam he mentioned in this last khutbah, that we have to believe in Allah, worship Allah. Then we need to also do the 5 daily prayer. He mentioned the 5 daily prayer. A lot of brothers just come on a Jummah prayer. No, 5 daily prayers. So he said, believe in Allah, worship Allah, 5 daily prayer, fast in the month of Ramadan, give your zakat and perform Hajj. These 5 pillars of Islam, which is very important for all Muslims to understand. And then he mentioned one of the most important statement he made. This statement become a universal for all of us in this in today's time, which he says, all mankind is from Adam and Eve, and Arab has no superiority over non-Arab, and non-Arab has no superiority over Arab. Also a white has no superiority over black, and a black has no superiority over white, except in piety and good action. So this is again the issue in this world is people talk about the white supremacy, black and white issue, or Muslim and the Hindus and Muslim issues, all kind of Jews and Christian, Muslim. All people fight because of color, race, and nationality, and these ideologies. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned, first of all, the biggest thing is mentioned about we are children of Adam. So when we understand we are one family, one human family, we have one God, one human family, and one message to worship Allah alone, that makes life very simple for everybody. It divides all those barriers and things and makes the statement clear for everybody. A religion becomes very simple for all mankind. They should worship only one Creator and be nice to each other. Just like we are sitting in a mosque here, the people, black, white, all color, all race, nationality line up, and they are brothers to each other. The same type of understanding, if you go out, if you become like a brother outside, then we change the world actually. We're inside just like beautiful. Outside you become beautiful, the whole world is going to be changed, inshallah. That's what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in his khutbah. So since the time is short, so I'm just going to the end of the part of I think I almost covered the whole thing. Learn that every Muslim is a brother to every Muslim, that the Muslim constitute one brotherhood. Nothing shall be legitimate to a Muslim which belongs to a fellow Muslim unless it was given freely and willingly. Do not therefore do injustice to yourself. Remember, one day you will meet Allah and answer your deeds. So be aware. Do not astray from the path of the righteousness after I am gone. O people, no prophet or apostle will come after me, and no new faith will be born. So somebody says a new prophet will come. No new prophet will come. There are many sects in the Islam. Sometimes say we have a Prophet Muhammad was not the last prophet or the prophet. But no, Prophet Muhammad said, O people, no prophet or apostle will come after me, and no new faith will be born. Reason well, therefore, O people, and understand my words, which I convey to you. I leave behind me 2 things, the Quran and my Sunnah, and if you follow these, you will never go astray. All these who listen to me shall pass on these words, on my words, to others, and those others again, and may the last one understand my word better than those who listen to me directly. Be my witness, O Allah, that I have conveyed your message to your people. So this is the responsibility now we are holding. This legacy of the Prophet ﷺ is carry on, and now it's going to be upon us, our own hand. So I will. ربنا إننا عملنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار. I think I took extra time, Brother Arif.